Hi everyone, my name is Julie. This is Keep Calm with Books and Coffee. I talk about books on this channel, mainly books about magic. Wait, what is happening? Sorry everyone, I don't know what that was, but as I was saying, my name is Julie. This is Get Crazy with Books and Tea, and we're going to talk about romance today. Just kidding, everyone. This is still Keep Calm with Books and Coffee, and we're still going to talk about books with magic. I just decided to be funny. I was going to do the rest of the video in the like blue and purple Cruel Summer sweatshirt, but it is entirely too hot in here, so we changed back into the green t-shirt. Anyway, I have been buying a lot of books recently, and a lot of them have been romance, and I feel like that is not my norm. So I have really loaded up on the romance lately. There are some fantasies in here, but I really wanted to share all the books that I have purchased recently with you all. So let's just jump into it. There is no particular order to this, and I will try to remember to tell you which ones were part of my like bookish subscription box with my indie, but I will probably forget at least one. And because some of them came from that like subscription box, I don't know a lot about them. So the very first book I have here is Funny Story by Emily Henry. This is her most recent release. This came out just a couple of weeks ago, and this is something that I got because I went to a book release party at my local indie with my sister. She really loves Emily Henry, and we decided to go together, and I got Funny Story. And through a series of events, I want a signed copy. I will tell you that story later. Maybe you will catch it coming to you soon. But this is the story of two couples. One couple breaks up when the male part of the couple realizes he is in love with his childhood best friend in the other couple. So both couples break up, and the two that are left outside of that couple, I believe, move in together or go to a wedding together. I always mess up the description of this, even though I just read it. It sounds like a funny story. So I would like to try this at some point, and we'll give it a whirl. We'll see when that happens. Keep your eyes peeled. The next one I have here is Every Time You Hear That Song by Jenna Voorhees, and this is one I am so excited to read. I need to read this because I just keep thinking about it. In this, we're following a young journalist who she finds out that a country music singer that disappeared from public life has passed away, and she left a bunch of clues in a time capsule for after her death. And I want to say Jenna, but that's the author's name. The journalist wants to figure out what happened, and I believe this is queer, and it sounds like a road trip. It sounds like a mix of Dolly Parton and Evelyn Hugo and Taylor Swift, and that just sounds like such a fun time, and I really want to read it, and I can't wait to get it, and there's an author event coming up that I want to go to for this book, so I need to read it ASAP before I go. There is even more romance. Then these three books came in a subscription that I get with my local indie that includes our book club book as well as a couple others. It's a fun subscription, and I've just started getting it, but that means I don't know a ton about the books. This is a historical romance that is In Want of a Viscount by Lorraine Heath. I really want to read this. I particularly like historical romance, especially the ones that they pick or they push, because they usually include different voices and different people and identities that weren't always present in historical fiction. We see a lot more people of color as well as queer people in the ones that my indie pushes, which I really appreciate. So, hi. So this video is going to completely change again, and not intentionally this time. Unfortunately, I lost about 2/3 of the footage of this haul, so we're just gonna... I liked the way the other part turned out too much that I'm not gonna start completely over, but we are gonna jump in with the rest of the books, and the pile is still like 10 books high, and at least half of it is romance. So if you were wondering which team I'm gonna choose for Amazing Readathon, the hint is that it's gonna be romance. The hint? Me, I'm gonna join romance because I have so many romances that I'm excited to read, and I just want to get into them right now, but I'm gonna put it off till June. But anyway, that you're here for a book haul, so let's jump back into it. So I had just finished talking about, I believe, In Want of a Viscount, which was the first in a series of 3 that were part of a subscription from March that I got from my local indie. The second is another romance. This is a romance subscription, so that makes sense, is The Other Side of Disappearing by Kate Clayborn. I believe this is about two sisters who one knows what happened to their mother and the other doesn't. The other finds out and goes to try and find their mother with a podcaster, and then the older sister has to go and try and figure out what's going on. That's what my understanding from the brief amount that I have read from the synopsis, and I think maybe the podcaster is the romantic interest in this. So it sounds like romance but also contemporary, so we'll have to see what the balance is there. But the cover I just love, and I love a podcast element, so I'm excited for this one. And then the third book in that box was This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan, and this is about Soledad and Judah. I'm about halfway through this, which you can see. Soledad was married, had 3 children, and her husband started embezzling money, so he is found out by Judah Cross, who has 2 boys of his own that both have Down syndrome. They are both separated, and then they meet and sparks fly between the 2 of them, but they have to figure things out because it's complicated, because Judah is the one who brought charges against Soledad's husband. They also have all these kids in the mix, and they're both separated, so lots going on here, but I really love it. The romance and the contemporary story are about 50-50, which isn't something I knew that I would enjoy, but I'm really enjoying it in this book, so that makes me excited for this book. So we'll see how it goes, but both of these have me super interested. Then the April version of this box was 3 more books, all also romances, and that is, the first is Wake Me Most Wickedly by Felicia Grossman. And I really haven't been reading the synopses of the historical fictions that come, simply because I like historical fiction, and I will give, most of the time it is like one of 6 setups, so I will just mostly dive into these and enjoy them in like a couple of days. So I don't know what this one's about. It looks like a fun time, but it says Once Upon the East End on the front, and she's holding an apple, so I'm assuming this is going to be like a Snow White retelling, and I'm really hoping there's going to be like a series of them if that's the case, because that sounds like fun. So I'll let you know about this one. Then I also have Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage, which is the author of Done and Dusted, which is a series that I've had my eye on for a while now. It is cowboy romances, and I don't know what the premise of this one is, but I know it's a series of cowboy romances, and it just sounds like fun. So I'm excited to get to this one as well, along with the rest of the series, of course. Then something else I love about this little subscription box is that we get our romance book club pick every month. So for this, I got The Art of Scandal, which is our book club pick for May, and it is the story, I believe a woman finds out her husband is cheating on her, and then she starts an affair with a younger man. That's what I got from like my skim of the back. Again, I like to go into my books pretty blind, so I don't know exactly what is going on here, but I'm excited to try it. I need to get started on this because book club is in just a couple of weeks. Then I have 2 books that are by a smaller author that was featured in my bookstore. The first is Coffee Dates by Megan Becker, and then we also have Shipmates. So super cute, nice and matchy. And I believe this one is about 2 people in New York City who literally run into each other, like she spills coffee on him and it's a meet cute. And then Shipmates is about a couple, well, they aren't a couple yet, but like a man and a woman going on a cruise, and their grandmothers are meddling to set them up, which sounds cute. So both of these sounded cute, and I just kind of got pulled in by how fun they sound. And also this spine, I love that this spine is like bright green while the book is pink. Like, it's just fun to be on the shelf. Then the last romance I have is one that I got pulled into because it was a blind date with a book type thing. So I picked this up because it said Victorian era Parent Trap meets Bridgerton and Fluffy and Sweet, and that just sounded fun. Plus it was sapphic, so it was female-female relationship. And I got Don't Want You Like a Best Friend by Emma R. Albin, which is one that I've had my eye on. It's like 2 women who, one is just going on the marriage mart and the other one has been on the marriage mart for a while, and they decide to solve their problems by getting their parents married rather than themselves, and then I think they are interested in each other. So I would like to try this, plus it has a Taylor Swift lyric on the front, so I'm game. Then I have 3 fantasies to talk about, and that's it. That's all the fantasy I have to talk about compared to this stack of romances. Who am I? So the first one of these three is To Shape a Dragon's Breath by Monocle Blackgoose, and this, I've heard such good things about this since it has been on my radar, and it is another book club pick, so I'm excited to try this. I believe this follows an indigenous woman who hatches a dragon egg and then has to go to a colonizer run academy in order to find out how to interact with the dragon, raise the dragon, ride the dragon. There are dragons, and then she runs into not approving of the way they do things and not appreciating the way they do things. So I am excited to try this. It sounds good, and like I said, it's been on my radar for a bit. Then one that I truly don't even have the foggiest idea about is Fathom Folk by Eliza Chan, and this is my latest indie Illumicrate pick. So I believe this was the April book, and it's absolutely stunning, beautiful as always. They do such an amazing job with these. And does this also have to do with dragons? I believe this has to do with mermaids, but that's like literally all I know. I don't remember the buzzwords or the description, but Illumicrate won me over with this one and I had to pick it up. Then the last one I have here is, I don't want to say I'm most excited for, but it is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. So I am very excited about this one. This is set around the idea of the Spanish Inquisition. I don't know that it's actually the Spanish Inquisition or if it's a fantasy version, but it sounds fantastic. It's beautiful. It has black sprayed edges and it has these beautiful pomegranates inside. I believe a young woman like has magic and her mother has always taught her to hide it, but then she gets exposed somehow and has to work for this regime. That could be a little bit wrong, but that's kind of what I remember from reading about it. It's Leigh Bardugo. I was going to pick it up no matter what the description was. I have loved everything from her fantasy to Ninth House, and I just can't wait to read this. But those are all of the books that I bought in the last like month and a half or so. It's been a lot of romance, like I said, and I am super excited to try them all. But that is it for me today. If you have any thoughts or feelings or want to share anything about the books that I talked about today, please let me know down below. If you want to stick around and see me read romance and fantasy, you can also hit the subscribe button down there. If you want to let me know you were here but you're not feeling chatty, you can always leave me a heart emoji of your choice, since we have so many different varieties of romance back here. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!